Jab, right hand, beautiful combination, smack bang to the schnoggin. They tie up in front of our commentary position. And again, the referee separates both ladies. Final 20 seconds here of the third round of action. Jab two again from Daniela Smith. She's landing as she comes up that centre corridor. Time and time again on Sandra Almeida.
Well, and she's just losing her opportunity to punch on the inside there too. She's just content to hold. Gary McChrystal's warned her a couple of times now. That's where she needs to go to work and go downstairs and open up a girl.
End of the third round, both of them go to the towels, and I'd say another good round there for the Kiwi, Daniela Smith.
Meine Herren, wir laufen im Leisebetrieb.
McCain Pizza Subs. Delicious pizza toppings on the crunchy sub that your whole crew will love. Ah, McCain, you've done it again.
Welcome back to Sky City Casino, a sellout crowd here. Black tie affair for Dodge Fight Night. The voice Michael Chabello and Lightning Mike Angove with you. We've got this one 30-28. In favour of the Kiwi, Daniela Smith, with one more round to go. And the way we cut it on our scorecards, it'll take a knockdown here, a 10-8 round for Sandra Almeida to tie it. Or maybe she can go kleptomaniac and try and steal it here in the final stanza.
Well, she needs a knockdown to steal the round. She's at least 2 rounds behind, possibly a third, unless the judges were as generous as we were and gave her that second round as a draw.
Daniela Smith, who has sat behind her jab for 3 rounds solid. Pokes out the right hand. Nice jab there from Almeida. Just not enough mustard behind it. Wears a right hand to the jawline. She's got a lot of power in her hands as Daniela Smith, and also deceptive speed.
Well, she stepped up her game a little bit too in this round. Just putting a little bit more pressure on and punching more when she gets into punching range, using the combination skills that she does have.
Do you feel here, Mike, that in the fourth and final round, with what is it, 1 minute 4 left on the clock, that maybe Sandra Almeida just needs to throw caution to the wind? Maybe she just needs to get a little bit nasty here and really throw down on Daniela Smith and go for it.
Well, it's her only chance really to even draw the fight if she gets a knockdown, which will score an automatic 10-8. Daniela Smith really just needs to continue doing what she's doing. Again, she's caught by that right hand, but I don't really think the South African girl has enough pepper in her punch to stop Daniela Smith. Neither of these girls have really been rocked at any stage. Solid shots, but they're certainly not KO blows in there.
Good high guard here in the fourth round from Daniela Smith. Just wears a short left hook, fires out with the right hand. There's the overhand right, going for the cranium tracker. She doubles up on it. Digs away to the left rib cage, clips her over the top. And on the referee calling break, Sandra Almeida, none too happy about it.
Again, I'd like to see just the full punch out. They are clinching, but there's still enough room there to punch. They just need the reminder to do it. Daniela Smith closing out this fight,
on the final round, and Daniela Smith is going to get the victory here. We'll give her 10-9 in the final round, and unofficially that makes it 40-37 on our ringside scorecard. 10-9 the first round to Daniela Smith. A 10-all second round. As Mike said, we might have been a little generous there. You could possibly lean Daniela's way. 10-9, 10-9 to the New Zealander in the third and fourth. So, Danny Godling, who is having a great night so far, looks like he'll get another victory for the Boxing Alley Gym. Sandra Almeida, who made the transition from kickboxing to boxing. This was her pro debut here tonight. Put up a gutsy effort.
Well, it was a gutsy effort, and again, pioneering move. First South African professional women's boxer. She showed that she does have the ability there. She created some difficulty for a more experienced fighter, and we're not just talking her 4 professional fights, we're talking more than 20 amateur fights. Daniela Smith did have a little bit of trouble with this unorthodox South African, but in the end, her punching volume combination was too much.
So, just taking the gloves off there, Danny Godling I'm not a Kiwi myself, but it's always good to see the Kiwis beat the
Ladies
South
and gentlemen,
Africans on the cricket pitch and in centre ring.
by unanimous judges' decision, fighting out of the red corner, Daniela Smith.
There you have it, the girl they call the Dandelion takes a unanimous decision, and that is now 5 wins on the trot for Daniela Smith.
Daniela Smith, 5 wins now from 5 fights, keeping her unbeaten record. First fight that we've seen tonight to go the distance, and Billy Graham, plenty of action there.
Well, she boxed, she kept her hands up, she hit hard, she hit straight, and that's better than most of the guys have done tonight. And they got better response from the crowd than anybody else. You got to take your hat off to her. She looked really good, didn't she?
She did. They both came to fight.
Yeah, they did, both of them. Yeah, good. Yeah, it was a good night, good fight.
You enjoyed it, didn't you?
I did. I enjoyed it. I did.
All right, Daniela Smith, 5 wins now. Very enjoyable fight. Let's go to Daniela Smith in the ring with Mike Ango.
Well, Daniela, she's perhaps an inexperienced opponent, but certainly a girl who had a lot of spirit and quite unorthodox in many ways, particularly with that lead right hand.
Very effective right hand. And yeah, no, she was damn good. Head off to her, definitely.
Okay. She was also, I know you've been a little bit ill coming into this fight, so a little bit down on the gas tank though, but you did it in the end and particularly closed out that 4th round.
Yeah, I think my body went into shock when it had to lose so much weight. But no, it survived, and I feel really good.
Well, it certainly was a great performance. And again, Sandra tonight, it was a debut for her for the first South African women's boxer. Really is a good step to see women's boxing taking more and more of a priority and getting a higher and higher profile.
Definitely, I'm all for women's boxing, professional and amateur, getting a higher profile, and it takes more and more fights like this for that to occur, so it's extremely positive once again.
Well, congratulations, Daniela Smith, tonight's women's winner.
Very popular win for Daniela Smith on Dodge Fight Night, live with One Sports. Stay with us. Coming next, 3 regional titles on the line. Mohamed Azzaoui, he has a world ranking of 9, a WBA world ranking of 9. There's his opponent, the American Derrick Whitley. A title fight next, live with One Sport. You're live with One Sport. Coming up now, we have a cruiserweight title fight. 12 3-minute rounds. Mohamed Azzaoui taking on the American Derrick Whitley. And our fight expert this evening is Billy Graham. Billy, give us a boxer's insight now. We've seen some quite short fights. They've been 4 rounds, they've been half a dozen. Now we're stepping out to 12. What's the mental difference?
Big mental difference. You really got to love training to be involved with a 12-round fight. It's a long way to go if you're not fit. But the idea is to be able to pace yourself over the first 2 or 3 rounds, find out the guy's weaknesses, give your second a chance to be able to find what your opponent's got before you find out and hear the refs say 7, 8, 9. So you really got to be able to, it's a team thing. Boxing is a team sport. You've got to listen to your second. You've got to rely on him to have good information for you when you get back of each round. And he's got to know that you're capable of going 12 3-minute rounds at a good pace.
So what you're saying also is you've got to show some patience, but you also got to throw some tricks in there, trying to fool your opponent into thinking, well, you're going one way, but you go the other.
Yeah. It's called boxing, not boxing. Boxers got to learn to lie.
All right, let's go to the cruiserweight title fight. We're getting set now for Mohamed Azzaoui. There are the belts that are up for the fight tonight. The American Derrick Whitley, and he's the one who likes to take one to land one, so it should be a very interesting fight indeed. Let's see how these 2 fighters measure up.
The cruiserweight title's on the line here. Mohamed Azzaoui is 8 years the younger of Derrick Whitley. He is also 6 centimetres taller, weighs 4 kilos more, and has a 4 centimetre reach advantage over the American. Experience goes the way of Derrick Whitley. However, Mohamed Azzaoui goes in as the favourite here tonight.
Ladies and and gentlemen, we now come to the main event. The Cruiserweight title fight, 12 3-minute rounds for the IBF Pan-Pacific and the Pan-Asia Boxing Association Cruiserweight titles. Your supervisors are Mr. Ivan Zonich for the PABA and Mr. Ray Whitley for the IBF. The judges are Feedmarsh, Ivan Zorich, and Gary McChrystal. The referee is Mike Holmden. In the blue corner, he's had over 50 professional boxing fights in his 10-year career and has never, ever been knocked down. Twin brother of professional boxer Darren Whitley, another fighting brother Brent Whitley is in his corner tonight. A champion wrestler, a mixed martial arts competitor all the way from Springfield, Massachusetts, Mr. Derrick Double Impact Whitley!
The American challenger, Derrick Whitley, makes his way to centre ring here at the Sky City Casino. And what a big task it is ahead of him, taking on the hottest cruiserweight in the Oceania, certainly, but probably in the Southern Hemisphere, in the form of Mohamed Azzaoui. Derrick Whitley, twin brother of Darren Whitley, also a fighter. It's been 15 months since the last time Derrick Whitley stepped into centre ring. You wonder if that'll take any effect on the man from Holyoke, Massachusetts, here tonight. Through the ropes goes Derrick Whitley, and he is set for what could be a marathon match against Mohamed Azzaoui.
His opponent in the red corner, from Algeria in the north of Africa to Kerry in the Northland of New Zealand. Currently, the highest world-rated professional boxer representing New Zealand, a competitor at the Sydney Olympics before turning pro, still undefeated after 22 fights. He is the New Zealand Cruiserweight Champion, the Pan-Asian Boxing Association Champion, the Pan-African Boxing Association Champion, the IBF Pan-Pacific and the World Boxing Foundation Champion. He is the pride of Northland. He is Mohamed Azzaoui.
A monstrous ovation here for this highly popular fighter, Mohamed Azzaoui. Formerly from Algeria, he competed in the Sydney 2000 Olympic Games, remained in Australia where he actually had a K1 career of 3 fights fighting out of Melbourne, then found his way here to New Zealand, married a New Zealand woman, lives in Kerry, and now has become a household name in New Zealand boxing. Mohamed Azzaoui trots up onto the apron, steps through the ropes, and the big Algerian, who New Zealanders have adopted and embraced as their own, is in centre ring for our main fight.
Well, when you talk about the length of these 12-round fights, Mohamed Azzaoui is a 12-round specialist. He knows it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. He has a lot of tricks in his bag. He may not be a power puncher, but he can certainly win over 12 rounds. He is a technician.
Mohamed Azzaoui, who once fought and beat the great Felix Savon in an army match. It was an unsanctioned match. It won't be on his record, but he did do it. The Cuban Felix Savon, defeated by the wares of Mohamed Azzaoui back in his amateur days.
Pan-Asia Boxing Association Cruiserweight titles. Referee Mike Holmden, over to you.
Okay, come on. Come on. Derrick. Okay, come on here. Come on. Now listen to me. I want a clean fight. Protect yourselves at all times. Obey my commands at all times. When I say break, you stop punching and take a step back. Anything here, Our class is low. You understand? You understand? Okay, touch gloves and good luck.
The stare down and all is in readiness for 12 by 3-minute rounds. On the titles, on the line here tonight, the PABA Cruiserweight strap, the IBF Cruiserweight strap are both up for grabs here tonight. They are the titles held by Mohamed Azzaoui. In fact, what titles doesn't this man from Algeria hold? PABA, IBF, WBF, Pan-African titles. The New Zealand title. He's got more belts than my wardrobe, has Mohamed Azzaoui, and now he's looking to retain 3 of them here tonight against the American challenger.
Okay.
Here we go, first round. The voice, Michael Chavello and Lightning Mike Ango with you ringside from the sold-out Dodge Fight Night at the Sky City Casino in Auckland.
Well, immediately we see that Whitley is a southpaw. Very difficult proposition. Talking to Mohamed before the fight, he hasn't had any sparring with southpaws, so it will take him a little while to work his man out. Mohamed is not known as a power puncher. Whitley has a granite chin in any case. The question will be, can Mohamed's technique and slickness keep this American fighter off him once he realizes that Azzaoui can't hurt him?
Most of the pundits are saying this one will go 12 rounds. Mohamed Azzaoui is the favourite. WBA world number 9 ranked cruiserweight. I tell you what, a little bit emotional as you saw for me backstage before, Mike. I remember when Mohamed Azzaoui was in Melbourne back in 2001, 2002, when he made his transition to the K1 scene for 3 fights. He even fought over in Shizuoka, Japan in 2002. I was very close to him back then. We spent a lot of time together in Melbourne. And I hadn't seen him for 5 years until I saw him backstage tonight. I knew he'd become a big star here in New Zealand, but it was just great seeing him backstage.
Well, mate, you're a pretty unforgettable figure yourself. He recognised you immediately. One thing about Mohamed Azzaoui outside the ring, very much a gentleman, and that is a really nice body shot with that straight right hand.
Break.
What we didn't see earlier on in the pro fights we viewed earlier was use of your height, use of your reach, and Azzaoui is doing that very well. But it's good to go with a straight right to the body of a southpaw, particularly because they're so used to getting out of the way of the straight right upstairs. They tend to slip to their left and come over the top of the left of their own. Azzaoui again getting out of the away of the left hand there.
Double jab right hand from Azzaoui, all tied up right in front of our commentary position. As I said, last time out for Derrick Whitley was some 15 months ago in March 2006 when he defeated Ted Muller by decision in Boston. So it's been a while between drinks here for Derrick Whitley, and we'll see if there's any signs of ring rust on him, although he has been training terribly hard for this one with Mike Altamura and Brent Whitley, his brother, also with Darren Whitley, his twin brother, out of their gym in Holyoke, Massachusetts.
Well, Azzaoui showing good eyes there. He went with the uppercut. He saw his man was dipping low, worked well. And again, he's slipping outside the left hand. Like to see him slip outside that and then fire a right hand of his own over the top. Still very much an amateur style, if you like, with his gloves nice and high, reminiscent of the point style fighting we see at the Olympics. And that's very much something that suits Azzaoui as he triples up on the jab.
Huge support behind the very affable Mohamed Azzaoui. As we said, his last fight was down in Melbourne. Had a good victory over Nurmin Sabanovic in Melbourne on May 6th. So he's been very active, has Mohamed, who turned pro just after the Sydney Olympics in 2001. End of the first round, we go to the towels. A real filling up process as it's New Zealand versus with the right hand on Whitley. Whitley, the southpaw, sticks out the jab off that lead right. Jabs again, but it's a nice double forearm guard from Mohamed. And again, just the combination work of the Algerian Kiwi. He's got more combinations than a bank safe, and he'll use them all here tonight against Derrick Whitley.
And he did do well there, doubled up on his jab and made him walk in and chew the right hand. He did miss the opportunity, though, to go downstairs and work the body when he had him on the ropes with the gloves up high.
Azzaoui, who's not a knockout fighter, his last KO was back in March, where he knocked out Alapati Kitiona in just 2 rounds here in Auckland to win the WBA Pan-African Cruiserweight title.
Well, right as you said, he was not a knockout fighter. He hit Whitley with a lovely right hand there, backed him up into the ropes. Whitley just stopped a little bit in his tracks there. He's fighting with his back to the rope. Oh, beautiful, lovely body shots. He'll be feeling his breakfast in the morning.
Smashing right hand to the belly button from Mohamed.
And that's a good idea against the southpaw. Southpaws are so adept. They're often very slick with their head movement, particularly getting out of the way of the right hand. Downstairs to the body, particularly in a 12-round fight, works well. Nice counter jab from Azzaoui.
Azzaoui controlling centering, controlling the pace, dictating here against Whitley. Whitley has the experience, but Azzaoui is the red-hot fighter. Short left hook from Azzaoui, just ringing around the right ear of Whitley. The referee separates them under 15 seconds remaining here in the second round of 12.
Again, Azzaoui missed an opportunity just to dip to his left a little bit more, bend his left knee and really rip into the body. We've already seen he's got not bad body shots. He should use them against this short, squat fighter.
Long-reaching right hand, that's the end of the round, and lock that one away. A 10-9er for Mohamed Azzaoui.
And then countering over the top of the shorter man.
Snapping jab again from Whitley. Uppercut from Azzaoui. Not enough mustard behind it, though.
Notice Azzaoui, too, using his forearms and the big, solid forearms. Nice work to the body there, but he's not afraid to use his forearms to push Whitley's head down and come with a nice right uppercut, Lennox Lewis style against Michael Grant.
Just beautiful to watch. It really isn't the oldest cliche in the book, but I'll use it anyway. Poetry in motion for Mohamed Azzaoui. He works upstairs and downstairs, probes to the head with the jab, then he'll rip into the rib cage with the right hand to the left side of the body of Whitley. Whitley fires out a rear hand, just falls short for him. Good evasion work there from Mohamed Azzaoui.
Well, Azzaoui's taken the judge's eye early in the round, and now he's just taking a little bit of a rest, gloves high. And Derrick Whitley has to take advantage of this. If he wants to become more than just a journeyman fighter, more than a spoiler, he really has to throw some numbers, and he's not doing that. He's letting his man get away with the rest.
Azzaoui, who doesn't mind throwing down and having a bit of a brawl if it comes to that, but so far, very clean fight. A pleasing one for the purists. Good tight double forearm guard here, looking through the brow from Mohamed Azzaoui. A lesson to be learnt for a lot of up-and-coming fighters on how to build a nice defense and a nice guard and stance here from Mohamed Azzaoui. Rips into the left rib cage, backs Whitley against the ropes. Well, and the referee just separates them. 52 seconds remaining, Mikey.
Well, nice work, nice evasive work from Azzaoui, and countering. He's making his man, he's punishing his man when he makes him miss. He's countering over the top of that left hand with a right hand of his own, or he did it with an uppercut, then went back downstairs with that body rip, which we've actually seen work very well for him so far in this fight. It's only round 3, but we've already seen signs of him using that scalpel of his to take his man apart.
A methodical, systematic fight here from Mohamed Azzaoui.
Time.
Referee just calls time. There's a hairpin on the canvas. Must be from the ladies' fight, Mike, because neither of these men has enough hair to warrant a hairpin.
Box.
That'd be like me wearing a hairpin. Long-reaching jab there from Whitley. Ooh, snappy left hand from Azzaoui, just misses the target.
Yeah, sneaky little left hook there from Azzaoui, just trying to sneak a big shot in. He doesn't often throw caution to the wind, and he's not needing to be frank. Whitley not doing enough. And again, Azzaoui taking...
Mohamed Azzaoui, Derrick Whitley, after 4 rounds. We've both got it 40-37. Mike Angover, myself, in favour of Mohamed Azzaoui. A 3-point difference in favour of Mohamed, and that means Derrick Whitley needs to start putting the pedal to the metal. He needs to start throwing down here on Azzaoui.
Well, you're seeing a fight where the Kiwi fighter Azzaoui, the former Algerian Olympian, he's quite satisfied to win the fight on points if he needs to. He will fight within himself. He doesn't need to do anything at the moment because Whitley is not pressing enough. So Azzaoui can just stay within his comfort zone, peck him off, dissect him, just use those counter shots. Again, Azzaoui holding up when he has his man on the ropes. You're losing the opportunity perhaps to go downstairs to the body, but he doesn't really need to because he's clearly winning this fight on points.
Punch it out.
The last time that Derrick Whitley went the 12 rounds, it was a drawn decision against Cuidad Juarez in Mexico back in 2004.
Good work from Azzaoui there, just throwing his left hand slightly wider to try and draw Whitley into his right hand. I'd like to see Whitley himself circle to his right, try and get Azzaoui to circle and follow him, and then he can plant that left hand with more authority.
Jab from Whitley. Jab left hand up the centre, falls short for him.
No pushing, huh?
It's the very quick movement, the good evasion skills of Mohamed Azzaoui, the beautiful defence on the Algerian that is causing a lot of problems at the moment for Derrick Whitley. Just can't get through those forearms of Azzaoui.
Oh, yeah, and Azzaoui